Okay. As you know, the textbook we're using, Jewel of Garland, which is composed by Indian great scholar Atisha, around 11th centuries. And it has a root text and commentary. Commentary is having dialogues between Atisha and his main disciple, Dromtempa, right? So we are on stanza 3rd. We finish up to 2nd. So now today here, the stanza 3rd. It says, reveal all your own shortcomings, but do not seek out other errors. Conceal your own good qualities, but proclaim those of others. Forsake wealth and ministrations. At all time, relinquish gain and fame. So yeah, we're going to talk up to here. So this stanza main practice. Now it's up to here, like a first stanza and second stanza. It talks more about like some kind of preparations for study and practicing, such as saying, be overcome laziness, not too much sleep, and then be mindfulness, recollection, those the talks, right? Good morning. Heavy raining. So those always, those are like I say, discard all lingering doubt, and then having joyful efforts, and then also relinquish the sloth, mental dullness, laziness, and also needed always recollections, awareness, hatefulness. Those are like a main
That's enough. No more.
main tools which we needed for both study and practice. Always, whether you are in a spiritual path or normal life, both. These are the always disturbing, right? Therefore, you should always careful those things. Should always clear your doubt, overcome your mental dullness and laziness, and not too much sleep, and be a mindfulness and recollected always, be awareness, and also heedfulness. They're always, right? So based on that, now actual practice is talking here from the verse 3rd, which I read it. So here, main practices we call bodhicitta. The bodhicitta has a few different types. Sometimes they translate as a great compassion, but compassion and bodhicitta is a little bit distinguished. Compassion means more concerning other and wishing free from suffering and such as, right? Bodhicitta is not just thinking free from suffering. In order to freeing from suffering, all sentient beings must attain the enlightenment, fully enlightenment. This is the best place to free from suffering. So that one kind of aspiration has that mind, and another aspirations, as I'm wishing them to achieve or attain enlightenment, I must attain enlightenment first. Otherwise, I cannot help them to be enlightened. So because as I'm an ignorance person, and that cannot bring you great wisdom, right? So I must gain some wisdom first, then try to clear other ignorance. That's the saying. So bodhicitta, again, is more stronger than compassion. And also bodhicitta is more urgency mind that or more urgency altruism mind than compassion. Compassion is generally you wishing or sometimes you try to do something, but bodhicitta is right now. Right now, I have to do right now. So it's not just free from suffering. I have to right now let them achieve enlightenment. Therefore, I must practice every day to attaining my own enlightenments. That's bodhicitta, right? That mind which has a true aspiration. One aspiration is the main cause and main intentions, or another aspiration is which is supporting it. What the main principal aspiration is all sentient beings attaining enlightenment, right? And for that, I have to attain enlightenment, which I think I have to attain enlightenment. That aspiration is secondary. It's kind of like the supported to accomplish your main intention, which is all sentient being having enlightenment. This is the bodhicitta that we call, right? Buddhi is some kind of great mind or wisdom. Chitta means mind. Buddhi is wisdom, right? Or Buddhi is enlightenment. The Buddhi is enlightenment, and Chitta is mind. And then mind, which is thinking enlightenment. That's his bodhicitta. Okay? So, and compassion is actually one of the substantial cause of achieving bodhicitta. Compassion must be generated before you achieve bodhicitta, because this is substantial cause, right? So I will cover later how to generate bodhicitta. So first go with the line. So this is the main practice here that this line talks, right? But as same, you must know that what is the obstacle? What is the obstruction to having bodhicitta mind, right? It says that here, if you look at the commentary, the main title is right here, How All Blame Lies in a Single Point. How all blame lies on a single point. That single point is self-grasping, right? And which is leading also self-centeredness. Self-centeredness is driven by self-grasping. So those two is you can think as a single point here to having obscuration to generate bodhicitta or compassion to others, right? So, and then at the beginning part, it's saying, as self-grasping and self-centeredness is the main obstacle, what is the self-grasping and what is the self-centeredness and how overcome it, right? So what is self-grasping? Here's a reveal your own shortcoming, but do not seek others' error. The self-grasping does opposite. Self-grasping always praising yourself, complimentary yourself, and finding always errors to others instead of finding error on yourself, right? So this is the saying the practice. If you want to do overcome by self-grasping and self-centeredness, then say this is the practice you should do. But before we go at maybe a little bit talks what is self-grasping, right? And then I have a quote from here that the commentary book. So what is the grasping itself? Inquired by Drum, one of the Atisha's disciple, right? And the answer is, this is something that wants all positive qualities for oneself alone and wants other alone to take on all misfortunate. This is self-grasping. it's not directly describing exactly what is self-grasping. It is one of the characteristic of self-grasping, right? Attitude of self-grasping, which is thinking every good opportunity I need it, every misfortunity they should have it. So, right? I want everything good, and they should have everything suffering. That's kind of things, That's how I would describe here. Again, let me repeat one more time. This is something that wants all positive qualities for oneself alone, and wants others alone to take on all misfortune. And continues here. Then please explain this in such manner so you can say, this is self-grasping, asked Tomleva. And Atisha replied, where would one find something of which could be said that this is the refined self-grasping? In that case, please explain to me how it is that this self-grasping wants everything and transfer all blame to others. Then Adisha's simple answer here. Adisha replied, Upasika means his main disciple, to call Upasika. Upasika, why even ask me? This is pervasive in sentient being. You know this. So what need there's to us? Which just means saying here that self-grasping wants everything and transfer all blame into other. It's a no need to explain. This is we have a lot of experience on our daily life, and this is how defined self-grasping and self-centeredness regarding this textbook. Yeah, and then also self-grasping always, do you familiar with the 8 worldly concerning? Okay, so 8 worldly concerning, it's this is we think the main cause of suffering, 8 worldly concerning, and this is the always obscured us to develop good qualities and doing Dharma practice. 8 worldly concerning, right? So 8 worldly concerning is wants to gain fame, and wants gaining, not losing, right? And wants to fame, not blame, and and always wants to complimentary or priest or not blame, and always wants to be happy, not the suffering. That 8 worldly concerning, right? 4 which we want it, 4 which we don't want it. So that we call, we want happy, we don't want suffering, right? We want to priest, we don't want to blame. We want to gain, we don't want to lose. Or then finally we want we'll call be a more famous, fame, not want the opposite one, what do I call it? I don't know, opposite the fame. So this is Ed Worley constantly here, talking main here. So you have to go reverse if you want to generate bodhicitta. Instead of like a seeking more happiness, you should deal with the suffering. So that's the, you should reverse. If you always going with this 8 worldly concerning, then it's difficult to be a positive person, and also having more peace in your daily life, and also obscure to do Dharma practice, and also developing any good qualities within you. So that's the saying. Sometimes people try to practice, make equal that 8 worldly concerns. Bodhisattvas are do reverse 8 worldly concern, and ordinary persons then other than Bodhisattvas, right? Happy that we are always seeking that, and never ever think or try to deal with suffering, or every moment we want to free from suffering, no suffering. That's the our ordinary beings thinking, right? Complementary as well. So, and then Bodhisattva is reverse, but it has a middle practice there. You can make equal, happy and peace, like a suffering equal. That's kind of practice there. So this is also leaded by, which is like always seeking happiness or never wants suffering, always complementary, no blaming. Those 8 worldly concernings which we have is also driven by self-grasping and self-centeredness. As well as we have self-centeredness, it comes automatically. So therefore, and if you want to do practice, then you also want to have to deal with the self-centeredness. That is here the practice, right? Okay. And then also self-grasping and self-centeredness. There are few lines I have in Tibetan, but I found one in translated in English, which is Chandrakirti's textbook, Middle Way. He has a root textbook called Middle Way. In Middle Way, they're saying, being think, sentient beings, right? Beings think I at first and cling to self, right? So no matter what, I is always first. Some are saying my family is first, my country is first. It say it, but originally I is first, right? So whoever, doesn't matter. Me, I is the first always. That makes you cling to self. And then say they think of mind. Then after that, once you have a strong concept of ego, I, then automatically comes mind is better. Mind should be better. So then saying they think of mind and are attached to things, what they owe. My families, my car, my house, everything should be the nice. My families should be the nice. My friends should be the nice. Everything should be nice, which is not necessary, right? But we didn't see that when it's associated with the I, a self-grasping. And then third line has 2 different translations. So I can read one there here. Helpless beings, driven as an education's will. What is the education's will? Do you know that? Yeah, I can spell it. I, educations.
With farmland right here, you cut holes, you get the water run to fertilize the land.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay, then it's similar then, yeah. Another translate says buckets and a water wheel. So it's just circling only in the bucket, right? The water is only circling the bucket, that's the same. And to compassion for such beings, I bow down. It's more bow down to the compassion, which is thinking sentient beings who are helpless because they are too much associated with the I and mind, which is clinging self, and then also attached to the things. Those, let them circle in samsaric. Those sentient beings is the object of compassion. Therefore, I'm bowed down to the compassion who is most concerning those sentient beings. That's the same. Same, this is actually one way to defining self-grasping, thinking I as the first, right? So we can clearly see how we think I is the first, even within family. So something that you try to establish or accomplish that what I wanted, not that what they wanted, right? And it's more dangerous than I run first. instead of I stay and protect them, right? I'm not saying every single being in this world. Majority is associated with self-grasping. If they don't have a self-grasping, and that action always comes then with the self-grasping. Always protecting yourself is the first, and try to gain something for yourself as the first. Even you have a family and friends, you are the first. So, and then of course, then forget about other, right? So this is some kind of attitude of self-grasping, and that's what you said. And then as thing as you are as important and self-grasping, then mind should be the better, right? I see that many families, I take like I say example, that between parents and children, right? Wherever the parents goes, they always compliment to their children's, right? And then children's, if parent did something wrong in a community or society, children get impressed, right? Why? Why? Because children thinks everything which is related with me should good, but my parents did wrong, it's bad. So, but when they describe to other, they say, oh yeah, good. Same way the parents describe to other, my children, good. It's very positive. Yeah, sometimes it goes there, but generally, very good character, great wisdom, and intelligent, and so on and so on. Every time they said it. And even it's something your friend, and you always compliment it in front of the people. You praise to your parents, you praise to your families. It really means not you really praising them. Because the main idea is, as they are connected to you, you should be the good, therefore they should good. If they are wrong, you shouldn't be good. So therefore you try to compliment to them. If we a little bit deep way to think, it goes that way. Isn't that what do you think? Right? Yeah. So but many of them will not accept that. No. I really care them. That's why I compliment it. So, and then like I say, some families say even they are not very rich, they always pretend as a rich. Why? Because of self-grasping and self-centeredness, right? And then even the teaching the children, you should be pretend rich. You have everything. So why? Because of self-grasping and self-centeredness, right? Therefore, it says everything mine should be good. That's how attached to ourselves into things, right? This is very well described, the attitude of self-grasping, actually. And then I have a longer versions or explanation of this self-grasping by Dharmakirti, but I don't know how I can translate or not. It says, who sees the self-ego, then and always clinging as an I, grasping as an I, important. And by clinging yourself or grasping yourself and always seeking or having craving to happiness, and then okay, maybe I skipped that. I cannot translate this all. Anyhow, so this is defining self-grasping and self-centeredness, which is obscured us to generate compassion or bodhicitta, right? So, and then it's good to analyze again by yourself as we hear first time, or if you hear before, maybe rethink it on it as saying, when we compliment to other, it's not really compliment to them. Actually, you try to compliment to yourself as a better. So that kind of things we have to rethink it. And at the bottom line, he's saying everything as driven by self-grasping and self-centeredness, even these two is one of the state of the mind. The self-grasping is it's mind, and self-centeredness as well. This state of the mind. And then basically the mind plays everything, right? And then everything's it's mind game. They're saying everything's mind game. Again, everything's mind games means every single thing is not saying that, but the majority, general, everything's mind game. Why are you seeking compliment to yourself, or why always transfer blame to other? Why? Because it's mind game. You can switch it. That's why it's mind game. Because you switch the reason, you switch your perspective, thought, and you can switch it. So you can take blame to yourself and compliment to others, right? So you can do that. As they're saying, everything's mind game. And I will read the one quotes from the commentary as saying everything's mind games. Now, even if one's faults are exposed, that's like the pronounce, okay, it is the mind. Even if one is praised, it is the mind. Whether happy or sad, it is the mind. Given that all of these are equal in being the mind, whatever defeat arise in your mental continuums, variance, right? Variance, self is perceived when there is no self. Crush them and let them go. Do you understand my pronunciations? Clear, right? Okay. So it's everything's mind game, as everything's, played by mind, then why try to say crush them and let them go? So just attach and egos and self-centeredness are saying let them go, right? And also let them go to too much seeking complimentary and praise to yourself, right? So I see this time is getting more worse actually. In our generation time in monastery, when we criticize each other, no problem. This generation, this time, when I began criticize, immediately they get mad. They're even not taking millimeter second to think it is right or wrong. Just right away get mad. So this is how it comes now. Maybe I assume that all worlds getting that kind of worse actually. So that's time by time getting more worse. So, but we always think still we do have a hope, right? Hope. So the hope is begin from yourself. It's not try to transfer everyone, right? Looks everything get worse, but again, the hope gives us strength, and this is not just empty hope. Something you can gain it if you put the efforts, right? So, so otherwise, criticizing other, blaming other is this kind of things. The West more advanced actually than our society, right? So still in our society, in I think say India and Tibetan community, still we can say the fat people is you are fat. We can say it, but here no, right? So here, no, and each time they change the terms, they change the term, they change the term, try to always finding the complementary. That much they suffer actually. You know, they cannot handle like it's what simple term, which is true, they cannot handle it. It's actually suffering. So because as well, we cannot control them, the people, what the people said it, and then people will say it. If you try to deal with it, if you understand how to deal with it, you will be free from suffering. If you're not, if you're always seeking as a complementary, then you will be more suffering, right? So, you know, that each time when we see the change the terms, then you can see it's new suffering comes, right? Someone has a new suffering. Now, a few years ago, right? The gender things, her and she, they changed the terms. Well, actually, why, I don't know why is it, but someone cannot handle that. So this is new suffering. So anyhow, so but still, as we have a potential to change, we have a brain and intelligence to understand, then it's hope. We do have a hope, can better ourselves, gain more peace, actual peace, right? So far, our peace and happiness too much rely on others. Therefore, they need to change all these terms, gender terms, and so many terms need to change, right? As well as if you relying your happiness and peace within yourself, any terms, any difficulties not affect you because you are relying within yourself. You're finding happiness from yourself. You are peace finding yourself within yourself, right? Not rely on other, then you will really gain the peace and happy because those which we cannot change always happening, right? And then it's really not affected us, right? So right now, I think Israel and Syria, Palestine's fighting. Everyone might be watching the news, and then how many people angry, how many people sad, how many people worried. Definitely a lot of emotional attacked by your own emotion. It's watching TV, you're watching news, what's having sad, it's actually your own emotion. Watching news, having anger is your own emotion, right? And same worry is your own emotion. But you ask, who can control emotion? There are two persons who can control emotion, who cannot. The watching news is the same. What problems there, right? One people will be too much affected by this news, another will not. Because the another is control their emotion, which is finding happy and peace within your own self, right? Which is thinking, I'm sad and therefore I'm suffering. That suffering, we cannot say that news brings me that suffering, right? Actually, your sad is the direct cause of having suffering, as well as your anger is the direct cause of having suffering, right? And those TV and news are conditioned. It's not the direct cause. So first, if you really want to change the cause, first you should change the direct cause, which is directly affected to you, directly brings you have suffering, right? So the first cause that we need to change, which is directly, it's always our negative emotions. So, and this is sometimes find difficult, sometimes simple. Only you can flip the one word, one reason, and change it. But doing this is sometimes found difficult, right? So, So, the both Palestine's people and Israel people fighting each other. Who's begin first, who more destroyed, doesn't matter, both are fighting. Both are object of compassion, right? So every sentient beings, Israelis and Palestinians, both are object of compassion, which takes time to understand that part. Once you get it, then you watch TV, not too much anger or almost no anger, because the emotion immediately change to the compassion as you're really familiar with the compassion, as you do compassion practice every day, then it's just direct connected to the compassion instead of anger and sad and worry, right? So it's directly connected to the compassion. Once it's directly connected to the compassion, that mind, wisdom, your analytical mind will be more fresh. Your wisdom will be more open. So you can find better reason, better solution that how can overcome it, right? So therefore, we must rely on within ourselves to having peace and happy, and then that's never change. If you rely on others, then always change and up and down. It clearly sees our happiness and suffering is too much up and down because we rely on others. So far, the public has remote control. We are play dolls, toys. Yeah, we are toys. They do have a remote control. What I'm saying is, you should keep your remote control your own, not let them give it, right? So, so that is doable. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes difficult to find it. Sometimes it's really easy to find it, because only the one reason can change here and there. It's very much depend on your wisdom and interest. So, therefore, then the public don't need to change any terms, things, don't need to change anything. So we will be fine. Otherwise, as world need a lot of change, and then a lot of effect to each other's, that's more suffering to having it. So you understand what the main point I'm saying is, right? So as you are relying on you within yourself, then you can accept blame, and you can conceal your own good quality. So far, we cannot conceal our own good quality because we need a compliment. We need a good repetitions, right? We need a praise. As we're seeking that, cannot conceal it. We have to show up, right? So some are show up within they don't have. They're pretending to show up that I have good qualities, I have I'm rich, or so on and so on. They cannot conceal it because of seeking repetition and good repetition and complementary, because of self-centeredness, because of self-grasp. You see that everything's driven from self-grasping and self-centeredness, right? So therefore, once you know that, once you control your self-centeredness and self-grasping, then begin that you can accept it, your good quality, your bad, your mistaken things, your wrong things, and your errors, and then you can also conceal your good qualities. Regarding here, it said, do not seek others' error, conceal your own good qualities. It's a but proclaim those of others. So regarding that, also I get a quote from Shantideva's, I'm sorry, that book of Kadam, which says here, within this equality of everything being the appearance of an unreal mind, if other feels delighted when they are praised, Go press them. Do not search for another force, for there is no searcher within you. It's talking about regarding selflessness, the emptiness. Once we think it's not really truly there, and then why are you searching it? It's saying there, right? There are no searcher within you. If something is if something is to be concealed at all, conceal your own higher qualities. The time has now comes for this. You don't have to show it up too much. What we have our expression in Tibetan, ser sao, namka, which just means is when the golden is under the earth, the shining will become out. That's we know that person has golden, right? So you don't have to say, I know everything, or you don't have to say, I'm Geshe high degree, I'm Rinpoche. You don't have to say that. Go teach it, answer for question, be compassionate to others, and go ahead. They will judge to you. They will judge to you whether you are gold or like a silver, right? So, and if you are actual gold, they will find the gold. You don't have to say I'm gold. So if you are not gold, they will find the gold. Not gold, then doesn't matter you saying I'm gold. So that's the saying. The conceal your own good, higher good qualities. So it has also different reason. Here saying that there is, the time has now comes for this. Conceal your highest qualities, doesn't matter, but times comes sometime that use for your own control, your emotions, try to free from suffering. This is the one times. Another times, there might be someone comes to you to ask question. And this is the time, give try best answer, right? Times comes to you, someone asks you teaching. This is the time to teach well, right? So times comes mean that. It's one time it will be useful to yourself and other. You don't have to say it. I'm good qualities. So here, if not say it's and silly, right? So I heard that around 1970, the Tibetan lamas and geshes first time, where beginning times comes to the West, and as their tradition. Always the way beginning as we are when we motivated to people, we saying, I don't know that much. I'm not qualified at always saying because. And as they said that, one of the Geshe said that, one of the Rinpoche said that. So I'm not qualified, and I'm not well training and well known, all this, but I will try my best. When he said that, the public take it literally, and many of them left. If you don't know, then why I come here, right? So, but this is how always, our tradition, lamas, our Rinpoches, Geshes, whoever teach. I'm not saying every single Geshes, okay, or every single Rinpoches. They might have some different perspective, but who are well trained, who well-knowing or well-training, they might say it. So I'm not qualified, right? And then I'm not well-training and well-known of this Buddhism. Even we studied 23 years or 28 years, the whole, and still we can say that not really well-known all the Buddhisms, right? So this is try to concealing your good qualities. And this is not the main reason. Main reason is suppressing your own ego, right? If you show much too much show up, and then express everything, same time your ego will be increases, which is very dangerous. That medicine could be turned into the poison, which just means like if your ego is manifested or increases, whatever you're teaching, it could be turned into the poison. It's not benefit to others, right? So yes, the many monks and geshes and rinpoches, we saw that while they study, they're humble, and then they're getting better and better. They're high ranks, they follow many followers. Then see his great ego they have. They don't want to sit down in the floor. They don't want to talk in some kind of like a normal people, you know. So they ignore here and there. This is happening. This is happening. So I'm always being example, Geshe and Rinpoche, because you know you might have a perspective that monks should be always good. Geshe should be always educated. Rinpoche should be always high quality. It's not necessary. And of course, sentient beings, no question, right? So, you know, just a word on it. And then the bottom line I'm saying is, doesn't matter who they are, but in your own practice, try to consider good qualities, because these are the example, how goes strong. And then as we are learning from them to reducing your own ego, therefore, one way to conceal your own good qualities. And you know, sometimes we said, "Lag de wo mi yo," means like who can cook well. This is like a slave of person. You know, so if you cook well, people always invite you for cook, right? Because you show up. I cook very well. then please, can you come? I have a party tomorrow. Please, I know. So then you have to go. And then I'm like, okay, please, you have to go. You have no time for practice then. You have to go, always cook and cook and cook. It's kind of a slave, right? So they were saying, who cooks well, become a slave. So it's because someone's cook well, but it cannot become a slave because many of them don't know. They cook well for family and eat themselves. So someone show up and then that's happening. This is an example, right? This is one example to why you need to consider our good qualities, right? And then this is the reason. And then instead of, you know, proclaim your own good quality, say, but proclaim those of others, and then giving reason here, right? If something is to be proclaimed at all, proclaim the high quality of others, others will be delighted. And what happening after they're delighted? And they will not accumulate negative karma on the basis of you. So you are not become a cause to have them anger if you make them happy, right? You are not become a cause and condition to let them create a negative karma. So this is one thing we should concerning, right? Now, not always yin and yang, but many times we are causing them. Earlier, I said maybe one time or two times, giving example between Rinpoche, my guru, and myself relationship. So, you know, when I was young, very short temperature, very short. I'm surprised. Very short temperature, and then and Rinpoche know that, and then I have two teachers who's live in the same room, same house. And I have another teacher which is not staying in the same house, but two teachers. Both are knows that I'm short temperature, right? And always they try not let me have anger. Even I'm a student, they're teacher. They can yell to me, they can scold to me. They are careful that not cause me to have anger. But they are not afraid to me. They are afraid that I'm creating negative karma by my anger, right? So this is how we need to be careful. Wonderful. So wonderful. I have wonderful teacher in this lifetime. So I'm always admiring and rejoicing myself to meet this kind of lamas. Instead of saying their behaviors, I can learn a lot from their behaviors, their action, instead of telling me to do this or do not do this, right? So wonderful. So now I try to become a teacher. I cannot exactly follow what they did for me, right? I have to use more word. I cannot be my action is an example for you to learn more, right? So anyhow, this is the one example how they careful try to not have anger to me, myself, not try to not manifest my anger. Because if I manifest anger, I created more negative, right? And also I burn, I destroy all these virtues, energies, same time. I accumulate negative karma, at the same time I burn and destroyed my virtuous energies, right? So anger actually, same as like saying, even the saying that eating our immune system, right? The good immune systems, good energies goes same time. So, and then it was good energies goes, then good qualities destroy same time. So this is most danger. Therefore, they were very much careful. It's yeah, thank you for that. So this is how we should do now for others. Try, you are not be a cause to let them have anger. You are not be a cause to let them create a negative karma, right? So this is the reason, say, proclaiming those for others go to a quality, right? But you don't have to lie though. Sometimes many times we're lying, right? Even they don't have a good quality, this, you are good. Instead of telling truth. But the silence is also their choice, right? You don't have to say yes or no. Yellow light is there. You be a yellow light. Don't have to be green light and red light, right? So, but everyone has a good quality actually. You should know what is their good quality and then say it good quality, right? So otherwise you don't have to lie, who does not have a good quality, and then say you do have it. This is danger for them also. One danger for yourself because you're lying it. Another danger is, let them have ego. Oh yeah, I do have it. Okay, then they have the increased ego. When they increase ego, then danger for everyone, right? So therefore, as well as we not try to let them have anger, same, we try not let them increase their ego, try not increase their jealousy and so on, so on. This is very much depend on how much you are be humble and how much you are trained well, right? This is very much depend on it. So as you do that, then you can exactly follow this the practice that conceal your own good quality and but proclaim those of others. This is the same here. Negative karma on the basis of you. This also has the benefit of dislodging. Sorry? Dislodging. Okay, thank you. Dislodging the foundation stone of the afflictions, such as attachment and aversion. So this is quote from the text, and okay. So saying and continue saying here, forsake wealth and maybe it takes time for think. This is because completely different idea than our usual daily life, which we learn from since young. We not learn this idea. We say, do not seek out other errors. We are opposite, right? And conceal your own good qualities. we are opposite. Proclaim those of others, we are opposite. And then say, reveal your own shortcoming, we are opposite. So therefore, as in normal life, we found those are exactly opposite than what we're doing it. Then see, you can analyze it's really benefit or not to following this idea instead of our normal thoughts. So say reveal on your shortcomings. Let's see, what do you think now? You pretend it now. You are not know. You are just the people never hear this kind of idea. Okay, then based on that, see what other might be think when they hear it. Reveal your own shortcoming. What other might be think, because it's very difficult to do it, right? Very difficult to do it. That we know. Even we know that long time, but still found it's difficult to do it. Try best, right? So as we are difficult to do it, even we know a long time, but someone never heard that, they might be not agree with it, right? Why? Have to reveal my own shortcomings, right? What does shortcomings means actually? It's a faults, weaknesses. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Then, yeah. What do you think? What you can think? What other one might be thinking is still like that. When we practice confessions, either Christian, Islamic, Buddhist, whoever, the beginning part is reveal your own shortcoming, isn't it? You have to say, I did this wrong, I did this wrong, right? This is the beginning to purifying it, right? We know that, but still we don't know. So, and of course, who are not on, whether you call atheists or not on believers, who's surviving as a normal life, how they might think on it. Some might be not agree on it, right? What you will say that? Revealing your own shortcoming. Yeah, please.
In China, when someone introduces you, if I introduce you, I say, please meet my lovely wife, or my son, no matter how intelligent he is. I say, this is my stupid son. So they always kind of don't play themselves humble.
Yeah. So begin with the myself stupid instead of stupid son. Stupid son is still you proclaim, you are like a shortcoming for others. Yeah. Goes on.
When I was younger, brought up in confession, plus be bothered by a sin. And a sinner, I think over time, society is saying, try to put things together. Well, if you keep telling yourself you're a sinner, you're going to have a negative self-image, and therefore, if that's what I want to relate to the Buddhism, they say, well, then you can't even get any of your Buddha nature or Christianity, God within you. So if you keep putting this crazy world we're in now, you keep putting yourself down, you'll never find the good qualities, but it's gone overboard the other. Christianity, what I'm familiar with, historically has said, look at yourself as Lord and confess it, and that's your way to be a better person. Which is distinct with what you're saying. But the world has gone away the opposite
That's
way.
true.
And then the natural instinct is not.
Yeah. And what do you think, this kind of idea, if we teach the youth, it's a good idea or bad idea? Bad idea? Okay. So no one accepts it, right? And then also they think, oh yeah, making my children's weak. Isn't that? I don't know. But actually, it's very good to teach those things to youth and children. But I don't know. The world has a different idea than Buddhism. So, okay. And always I say that, okay. Yeah, if someone has online, if you do have your suggestion, please welcome. Oh yeah, I see the chat. What was big letter? Okay. We have lost our audio. Okay. Georgina. Good morning. Unfortunately, I have to be okay. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, and always last Sunday I also mentioned it, and then long time I always, even my friends and whoever or myself, always thinking, revealing your own shortcoming as in religious is a beginning of purifying, and then it's a daily life beginning of becoming a good person. That's how I think it. I strongly believe on it, because my logic is, if you never accept or never reveal the reveals your own shortcoming is same means like you accepting it, right? Otherwise you cannot reveal it. So accepting your own shortcoming is the fundamental of becoming a good person, because if you never reveal or accept your faults, you cannot practice any moral ethics. No way that I see. Moral ethics means something that good actions, right? Good attitude or good actions. This is moral ethics, right? Good is most of the time we have to build it up, not innately there. So, and then having moral ethics, you need to change. What you need to change is bad to good. If you not accept bad as a bad, you're not willing to change them. You fail to having moral ethics. As well, you will never ever can generate compassion, right? Because you do not accept bad is bad and your bad is your bad. Then no way to generate compassion, no way to be kind to others. Therefore, it's almost impossible to overcome by suffering. This is the assist, because this is very fundamental. Last time I said it, because my topic in last event in New York, it says the wisdom of true happiness. Wisdom of true happiness. What I give the wisdom of true happiness is that we'll say understanding the fault is fault, acknowledging your faults. This is the wisdom of true happiness. Because true happiness could be many different perspectives. Buddhism said one way, true happiness, and another religion say other way as well. And then non-believer has their own perspective of true happiness. But what I see is, whatever true happiness means to you, this is the fundamental. To understanding fault is fault, and acknowledging your mistaken is your mistake. And this is, as you have a good practice with it, then everything is possible. If you do not have this good practice with it, then almost no matter how much you learn compassion, how much you learn emptiness, how much you have a knowledge of different different perspective, you will almost no way to overcome suffering. Because you are not ready for overcome suffering, because the wrong, mistaken, false are the cause of suffering, which you are not acknowledging it, you are not accepting it. Then where's the way to overcome suffering? Because you want to be with suffering, because you want to be with the good bad things, right? You want to be with the faults, your own faults, because you're not accepting it, you're not acknowledging it. See that? This is, I strongly believe, this is the fundamental for turning, transforming ourselves as the good person. And then good person is the cause of the happiness, right? So that's the reveal your own shortcoming. I totally agree. Whether I'm a religious person or not religious person, my knowledge, my wisdom, my logic, I see this is, everyone need it. Everyone needed, even younger, youth, senior, everyone needed this. So this is the challenge now. This is the difficulty now. All the fightings, happenings, no one accept their fault. I don't know, is there a person who faults it? But the both are not accepting what is fault. You know, they have something to say it. Right? So the Chinese government, see, never agreed that fault is fault and never accept a fault as fault. They're ready for fighting. They're ready for destroying. They're ready for cause to have suffering in the world. As we're seeing that, and then, of course, we cannot control all of this, what I mentioned it, but definitely control ourselves. As we control ourselves, you can control your environment. You know, you can affect it, your goodness to affect it to your neighbors, your friends and relatives. This is how we can split it, right? So this is the hope, the world peace. Otherwise, all pieces looks like impossible. Yeah. You see that? Any rejectable or some kind of offensive, what do you call it? Different opinions on it? If you have a different opinions on it, then we will have a good discussion. So to finding what is really essence is, right? So therefore, we're always looking like an opposite one. Might be Richard might have it. Where's Richard? Richard's there. Oh, Edmund, well, Fortune, you're there. Okay, am I sleeping then?
No, not sleeping. I can't find the mute button. That's the problem. Sorry. Yeah, I will ask a question. Maybe it can help the discussion. But I have two other questions from earlier that I'd like to ask as well. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah. So one thing, I'm always confused. You said once you can control self-centeredness and self-grasping, you can accept your faults. But if you conceal your own, you know, you may, if you don't control self-centeredness and self-grasping, you might conceal, you know, your faults and just show your own good qualities, etc. So I'm just wondering, you know, self-grasping. I'm not sure how you define self-grasping, and I think that's the key. To really see your own self-grasping might be the solution for this. So sometimes we talk about self-grasping, we define self-grasping as grasping at phenomena or grasping at a person as self-existing from their own side. But here, I think maybe you're saying self-grasping is defined as it sounds to me, you're using it here as grasping at me and grasping at mine as most important. So which is it? Or are there two definitions or something?
You know, we are not talking the grasping on phenomena. We're talking grasping on self. Yeah. So
am I confused that there's two different definitions for self-grasping? One is grasping at phenomena.
No, not two different definitions.
Right.
Two different objects there which we can grasp in.
Yeah.
Clinging on it. So phenomena and self, right? The clinging, grasping again, directly define it. Clinging, grasping means it's not talking attachment. It's talking that thinking self is truly existence.
Right.
thinking all the phenomena are truly existence.
Right.
This is the clinging and grasping means here, right?
Oh, so that's not called self-grasping, that's called clinging grasping.
Here say clinging means you should understand that way, because literally translate, it says shenpa. Shenpa sometimes goes with the attachment or clinging. Mhm.
Okay, so when I think of myself as truly existent, then I start to think of myself as most important.
Yes.
And that's when the trouble begins, when I can't
That's the same.
control my self-centeredness and I can't accept my own thoughts and everything. Okay, my second question is very similar. You said that when we say the direct cause of my suffering is my emotion, right? Then you can say the indirect cause, and I think that, or maybe you'd say the condition in that example would be the event, but the direct cause is my emotion. So for example, you watch something on television and that's the condition, but the direct cause of my suffering is my emotion, my reaction to that on television, right? So is a condition and a cause the same thing? As like sometimes we say causes and conditions might be the event on television, then we'll say the direct cause is my emotion, my anger or my reaction, right? So so what causes the emotion? Like, is that the self-cherishing which causes the anger?
The cause of emotion is self-grasping, as we said. Self-grasping driven every negative emotion, includes self-centeredness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's very, very, very connected.
Therefore, we say the root of samsara is self-grasping, right? The root is. That's all arises negative emotions, all that from there. So therefore, we try to see emptiness and selflessness for eliminating the root, which is self-grasping. Once you do that, then you don't need it separately apply antidote for each negative emotions. Once you cut the root, the branch will be dried. So died, right? So this is the idea, and which is difficult again. So okay.
Yeah. So now my real question then, to answer
what is your
you're asking for a conversation or discussion. So my real conversation would be to challenge and say, okay, if we are not looking for faults in others and we're only looking for faults in ourselves, right? Then what if someone's behaving improperly and we're not looking for their faults? We're allowing? Are we just going to allow unacceptable behavior, and we're going to allow someone else to do something horrible and that'll cause harm to others? We can't just allow others to have faults. So how do we learn how to recognize faults in others without doing it in a way where we're not accepting our own faults and we're not looking for faults in ourselves and we're only looking for faults in others? How do we learn to skillfully correct faults in others? And I think you explained a little bit of your own teachers doing that for you. They would try not to encourage you to be angry, but they'd still, teach you. But if we look at the Israeli-Palestinian confrontation, or we look at things in the news, quite often we see clearly there are faults, that other people do things incorrectly, not morally, not ethically. And it's very difficult to not be judgmental. I'll stop talking now.
I think not searching the false other, right? It means not saying that you do not look at the other faults. So yeah, everyone has a fault. And then let's say someone killing to someone, this is someone's fault. Definitely we should accept it, right? But not searching is a little bit different. Not searching faults means if you search the fault, you always find something negative to others. Even sometimes they do good, but as you are looking the search, like you're looking for their fault, you will see as a fault, the good as a fault, because that's how you look at it. So then let's say, hear someone meditating, and then you are, everyone's closed eyes and meditating, and one person is even to be quiet, not meditating, and you look at it as a fault. This fault is not benefit for everything to looking that fault. That's their own wish, but at least not disturbing other. They're quiet, but they are not meditating even within group. That's okay, right? If you look at it as this is a fault, and then you will begin to say, why you are not meditating? This is the beginning of fighting now, right? So that kind of faults, we don't look at and search it. So the fault which is harms other, we acknowledging it, but has to be skillful way to deal with it because it's out of our control, right? So, and then as it's out of our control, it again might be caused to problem. So the main here saying, you're proclaiming others good qualities, and then you are not searching other bad, means try to save to less fighting in the world. That's the saying here, right? So, but it's a never ever acknowledging other bad qualities. It's not saying that.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, so we're not suppressing our dissatisfaction with other people maybe harming us or harming other people who are innocent and don't deserve to be harmed. We're not suppressing our reaction. We're just skillfully observing it. Huh? Oh, this is thankful. Thank you very much. This is very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, it's sometime if we search the faultness, even you describe very good person in this world. Let's say so far our previous examples are Dr. Luther King's, Mahatma Gandhi's, and there are many examples there, right? Who win the Nobel Peace Prize. But if you look at fault there, you might find fault for them, definitely, right? So, and then His Holiness Dalai Lama as well. If you look at the fault, you might find the faults based on your own perspective, based on your knowledge. So that's kind of thing, not search the other faults. It says, this line is clear, it says, do not search, right? It said, but do not seek out other errors. Means chubat sel mija. Sel is, I don't know if the seek is exactly translating as a sel. Sel is here searching. Do not search the other errors. That's a saying. Whatever comes in front of you, that's one thing you can acknowledge it. Otherwise, do not search it. Leave it there. This is one good practice, actually, I think. Searching is let you have bad habit, one thing, and as well as a bad habit, you will see everything's negative, right? So that's the one quote says, no matter try to talk to negative people, because they will see everything as negative, right? Good or bad, everything says negative. This is their bad habit, or they are like, so this is some people are very stubborn, right? Stubborn. I recently learned that word. Stubborn. They have some kind of their perspective, and they're not really looking. It's really necessary to do or not. Stubborn. I can give you some example. Very senior, and still very much careful the technology things because they're scared, or they will take my information. You're close to die. You are close to die. And what you are really losing to taking their information. If you do something bad, then you should concern it. If you do something good, they will advertise for you. What are your problem then? So, and then they're too much worried that they will take my information, right? You are be a good person, always be a positive, and let them know. It can be inspired, right? It's your behavior, your information. Let them know your information because it could be inspiring, at least not harms, right? So I see this one side they might have some the reason which I don't know, but one perspective when I see it is very stubborn, which is not necessary, which is cause for suffering, because you're too much attending and careful, and every single time. This generation is technology generations, and then I don't know how much you can hide it, but your worry is always cause you suffering. So every time once you worry, this is suffering. So if it's open, take it, whatever. I will give you freely my information. There are nothing to hide it, right? So there are no worry then. No worry, and then it's a free. Right? So this is one example. This is one example that in yourself, too much stubborn is not good. Be a skillful, be a more understand which should or what shouldn't you hide or not hide. So okay, anyhow, so then yeah, you can more think on this other three line. Do not search others' error, as Richard mentioning. It's good, then we can more clarify that, right? It's not exactly never acknowledge other faults, not saying that, right? So but do not search is good practice, not searching the faults for others, leave it them, whatever, do not look at as everything as a negative, so and then same that you can think another two line, consider your good quality or program those others. You can rethink it, and then you can also discussion with others, right? And finding it is right or wrong, right? So it's a part of learning. As you are analyzing with other, discussion with the other is part of learning that makes sure this idea is right or wrong, right? Once you conform it, then you will not have a problem to follow it. So if you not conform confidently with the wisdom clear, then you will find the problem to follow it. Because sometimes you will not find a problem, you can follow it. Sometimes you found the problem, you stop to do it. So if you conform it, then whatever, you will not find the problem to follow these things. This is the important part. And then second two line, the sake of wealth administration and all the recurrence again, fame, and have most actually, yeah. Okay, the fourth and fifth I try to cover. So next Sunday is next Sunday I will be. So yeah, I try to cover the follow ones, right? The fourth and fifth. At least you have a question and discussion. Please welcome. So I'm saying, my friend, I should have cough because my voice becomes soft. Otherwise, yelling is like like a yelling, right? Scare them. So soft is good. Okay, any question? Do you have any question? Yeah, please go ahead.
Talking about like two sides of the same side, like self and non-self. Like see yourself as and somebody has cause for happiness and cause for happiness. Is that really kind of like just switching that itself? Like, because I want to be happy, so I see your happiness, and I'm not understanding correctly. I think that your happiness.
Switching means more we're talking here, switch the cherished part, the concerning part. So right now, innately, we do have a concerning and cherishing ourselves. That switch to the cherish to other, instead of yourself. That's part I'm saying it. That's you mean? Otherwise, yeah. Yeah, cherish more to other. That's the way you gain also your happiness. So that's why I'm saying switch means like a the Bodhisattva switching, which we cannot do it. Bodhisattva is more focused on suffering instead of happiness. That we cannot do it. At least we can equal it. So suffering and happiness make an equal, right? And that part of maybe you might say that. So this is equaling means once you're happy, too much, do not too much expecting and exciting it. Just okay, this is happy, it's good. I wish all sentient beings have that kind of happy same as me. Once you are suffering, not too much disappointed and depression, right? So once you are suffering, okay, I'm suffering now. All sentient beings do not have a suffering as me. I'm taking up on my suffering with my suffering. So all sentient beings be happy. So those thoughts makes like a equal. You are happy. Once you have happiness, not too much exciting. Once you have suffering, not too much disappointed. So thinking this, both dedicating for sentient beings, that makes you equal. That kind of one thing I'm saying. Otherwise, if too much like only seeking happiness and never wants to have suffering, that we cannot do it now because suffering always comes. This is the condition of our body and mind. Suffering will come. So also learn how to deal with it. Same time while you're having happiness. So this is the makes you equal. Yeah. That's me. I think, okay. Okay, Eric, go ahead.
I was just thinking about what you said about self-cherishing and then extending that to my family. I'm better than others. My family is better than other families, my country, my race. And it made me think that the whole thing works in reverse as well. So when people associate themselves with family or race or country, then when that country does something good, they feel they're good, or their family does something good, regardless of how good, badly that person acts. We associate, we hide our own faults in the good deeds of those groups that we associate with ourselves. So it's harmful in two directions.
Yes, I see that. Yeah, definitely. Both are self-centeredness. Yes. One thing's you easily gaining it, what you wanted. Another thing's you're making up to gain it, right? Yeah. You're hiding your faults. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm like them. They're good, so I'm good.
Yeah, that exactly.
Carelessly.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, this is also as you're happy, my country's doing good. Exactly, we can see the goals with the attachment, and then of course it's self-centeredness. Because otherwise, why you should so happy? Why not happy with the other countries doing good? Why only happy with your countries doing good, right? So that's distinguishing. Even both countries doing good, you only stay happy with your countries doing good. It's self-centeredness. Yeah, it's yeah.
The word "your," that's perspective again.
Yes, it is.
In the other group, then you automatically take all of those views on with the other group.
That's
chance.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is. So thank you. Anyone you have a question? Okay, everyone who is online, who are in online, who has a online. See, my English is good. Who is online? I have a question. Okay, thank you.
Not a question, but just thank you very much, Geshe, for such a beautiful class. And I hope you feel well very soon.
Yeah, I'll try my best here.
Get well soon. Okay.
Thank you. So, okay, then we're going to stop here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Yeah, Geshe, have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.